All right, hello. This is Wmpyr here to talk to you guys real quick about the Heaven Six. Most of what you're seeing in this video, which is looped, is a lot of this is the Heaven Six. Okay, it's not all the Heaven Six, but a lot of it is. Um, so this is right here, perfect example, Heaven Six partner drill right here, and yeah, I just saw a video right now. I was thinking of what should I talk about today, and it was a combatives video, right? And I was also looking at a World War II combatives um, manual that was not by Fairbairn actually, and it was quite interesting. But anyway. So from the combative's perspective, okay, and this could also be for street self-defense, right? The guy was saying, because we know Captain Fairbairn favors the knife hand, which is a chop, right? So he really likes the chop, and you're going to use the chop, just like in the concept of the Filipino martial arts is you chop their arm, right? And you chop their arm. So this is what I say about the Captain Fairbairn method, gutter fighting, which is stun, hurt, throw. Those are the three steps. So number one, the chop would fit right in with the stun part. Okay. Um, and this guy was saying that you're basically, the chop is like you're making your hand into a blade, and therefore this is a blender. And I was like, hey, blender, that's like Filipino martial arts terminology. I don't think he was necessarily thinking of Filipino martial arts per se, but for me, blender is a very important term. So what I'm doing right here with the double machete is a blender, right? It's rapid, continuous attacks. And same here with the double sticks. I mean, this is the same motion as what I was doing with the double machete. So you're making a blender. Right here, single stick, this to me is flail. And then we go back to double weapon. So now we're going back to blender. Or double hand would also be blender. So I'm mixing here blender movements. And even with a single knife, I'm still using blender movements right here. This is blender. This is Heaven 6 is the base. So he was saying you use the blender. Anything that comes into you, he was really talking about strikes coming in. Like the other guy's trying to punch you and he's swinging wildly at you, and you're going to be using the blender. So you're chopping anything that comes in. You chop, 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 rapid fire chops. And blast away whatever's coming in. And I'm not against the blender idea, obviously, because this is one of the things that I study and stuff. I just felt like the way that he was explaining it causes a lot of misunderstanding. A lot of misunderstanding, and same with what I'm doing here. I feel like a lot of you guys know the Heaven Six. You're doing stuff like this, what you're seeing here with a partner, but this gives the wrong impression, that a lot of wrong things. So the first thing is it makes you think that in a real life situation, this is how you're going to use it, because what you're doing is with your partner is that you're meeting every one of his strikes with your strike, right? It's a mirror drill. It's a mirror partner drill. So you think that that's how it's going to go in real life, and that's already a huge mistake. That is not the way it's going to go. Look at what I'm doing here with the double machete. You can't keep up with this. You just can't. You can't keep up with that. This right here is not. This is not going to happen in real life. Then why do we do it? We're doing that kind of partner drill as a beginner level to really, really get the movement down and put it into muscle memory. That's really what it's for. But then once you do that, you start putting in speed, you start putting in power, you start putting in footwork, and then you realize real fast that it doesn't take much to mess up the choreography. So it doesn't take much. One little thing messed up, and you're both going to be out of sync, and you won't be able to do this kind of partner drill right here. You won't be able to do that. It just takes a tiny little error, and you're both off. Okay? So you have to understand that. And that's part of the exercise, is you start messing up on purpose, and you start working on recovery. How do you work on recovery and stuff? And people might be like, well, I know that you're not supposed to do that in real life, that's not the way it's going to be, because in the street, what are the chances the other guy knows the Heaven Six? Probably not. So then how are you supposed to match his attacks with your attacks? How do you match blender with blender? You can't, because the other guy doesn't know it, right? So you go, yeah, I don't expect the other guy to know it, so I know we're not supposed to do that. Well, it still gives the wrong impression, because you think, because of the way that you're training like this constantly, you're going to think that every attack that comes in, you are obligated to match 1-for-1. So every one of their attacks, you have to counter it. And I'm here to tell you, it's not possible. You'd have to be Neo from the Matrix. Look at my hands right here. And it's not because I'm super fast. This is normal. To me, this is average speed of anyone doing, Heaven Six. It's nothing special. Okay, I am not super fast. Okay, anyone could get to that level, but you are not. You are not going to be able to keep up with that. It's just not possible. So that is a huge mistake right there, that people automatically think that's what they're supposed to do. And that's the same with the guy saying that every attack that comes in, that you're just supposed to use the blender and chop against any and every attack. Just chop, 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 and get rid of it. Get rid of all the attack. And I'm saying, no way. That is not the proper way to use this, and that's not possible. Okay, so I'm going to give some credit to the guy who said that, because what he said and what he did was not the same. Because as he was saying every attack that comes in, you're supposed to chop, 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 chop. He closed the distance, and then once you close the distance, you don't have to deal with that, because you're in the clinch now. There's no room for the other guy to keep attacking. So you take that away. And that is definitely one of the ways to use this. Is I would defend against or counter one shot, not 2, 3, 4, 5. It definitely not 6, because it's called the Heaven Six. Definitely not all 6. If I'm lucky to be able to do 1, I'm going to do 1. Unless my opponent totally sucks and they telegraph the crap out of everything, and they got no power and they're slow, I'm relying so much on them sucking. It's ridiculous. It becomes unrealistic. So one attack is really what I need to deal with. One attack. I don't care if they're doing combos, but we have to shut the combo down. How do you shut it down? So you just have to worry about one attack, even if they're doing 6 attacks, like we're doing here, which is the Heaven Six is 6 attacks, right? Minimum. I mean, you could change it to 12. I mean, there's infinite variations, and you can combine it with other combos, so you could keep going and going and going, right? You could go infinite, but the base Heaven Six is 6 continuous attacks. It's a combo of 6 moves, right? So I don't care if that's what they're doing. You have to just deal with one attack, and then from there you got to find a way to shut the combo down. There's two real basic ways to shut the combo down. Number one is to move too far away, and number two is to move way too close. So that's your answer right there, is to be too far out of range or to be way too close that they cannot attack. They cannot continuously attack. You smother their attack, so you shut it down. So those are the two. Okay, so I want to make that very, very clear. Very clear. So the idea in Hollywood, they're gonna want to see something like this, where there's this rapid exchange, 3, 4, 5 hits being countered, and it's just a cool sequence and it looks cooler. It's far from realistic, is what I'm saying. Okay, and you could imagine with weapons, it's devastating, but even with empty hand, you still can't keep up with it. And that's why boxers, kickboxers, Muay Thai fighters, MMA fighters, they cover up. That's why they do that. That's why even those guys who are athletes, superb athletes, with reflexes that I will never be able to have because it's in their DNA and it's not in mine, even those guys have to just sometimes put their pride aside and just freaking cover up, because you can't keep up with this. You can't. And I know their opponent is not doing the Heaven Six, but their opponent is attacking with combos. And that's why combos are so effective. I know the idea of karate, one hit, one kill. That's something that's great to aim for. Sure. But combos are devastating, man. That's all I got to tell you. Combos are obviously effective, and that's why they're used constantly. Okay, not to say that the one hit kill is completely outdated, because you see that too, and like the most obvious one in the world of MMA is the Masvidal versus what was that guy, that wrestler? I forgot his name, but he got knocked out with that knee. One hit kill, One hit, one kill. There you go. But Askren, that's his name, Ben Askren. Yeah, Masvidal versus Ben Askren. Just watch that. That's a prime example of the one hit, one kill. But so both are good, but definitely combos are. I am saying they are devastating, and most people, if they decide to attack you, they're probably going to attack you nonstop. So even if it's sloppy, it's still going to end up being a combo. They're going to come at you. It might be with the same hand, the same type of punch again and again and again, making it a lot more predictable, but it's still a continuous attack, which makes it a combo attack. And to deal with that speed and that ferocity, it is a huge, huge thing. And I said to you guys just a second ago about the athletes that even those guys have to cover up because they can't keep up with it. Okay, I know this right here, the Heaven Six, is a traditional martial art move. The problem with this is a lot of traditional martial arts people don't respect combat sports. And if you're one of those people, you need to change your viewpoint real fast. Really, I'm not saying combat sports is the best, but you gotta understand the effectiveness of combat sport and give it respect. And I'm talking about in street application. I'm not talking about in the ring or in the cage. I'm talking about in the street. Combat sports is extremely effective. Can be, and it could also be a bad idea too, where that could be your downfall. So, but what I'm trying to say is, someone who does combat sports, you got to give respect. A pro athlete, most people have no idea what it takes to become a pro athlete. So when I get a student and they come in, okay, one of the things I'm going to look for, is, does this person have natural talent? And if they have natural talent, I'm going to try to play into their strengths, and I'm also going to try to play into their weakness to try to, eliminate or lessen the weakness, obviously. And their strengths, I want to use that as a motivator and make that even better, of course. So I do look for that. In my own personal case, physically, I did not have any kind of, how would you say, advantages. Nothing. There was nothing naturally good about my physical abilities. I was not an athlete. I did not have good reflexes. I did not have muscle or strength or speed or agility or any of those things, really. Everything was average to below average in my case. Okay. Now imagine that if I went into martial arts and if I did have some of those things, I was quicker than the average person. I was, faster, as in reflexes. So quicker is just raw speed, but then also like I said, reflexes. My timing was superb, or maybe on top of that, I was very strong for my size or something like that. That would have been amazing. Okay, that would have been, you would see a beast instead of what you're seeing in this video. Whatever you're seeing in this video, it would have been way more formidable if I had those things, but I never did. So that's what you have to understand. Okay, so when you're looking at somebody that is a professional athlete, they have those things. And when they naturally have those things, it just gets to the point where you cannot keep up. Okay, so I did not have that. I'm a blue-collar worker in martial arts, but also in swimming, I was a blue-collar worker. And, just because I swam so long compared to the average person because of my asthma, I was technically, and also my body was more used to swim, compared to the average person. I was swimming way, way more. Your average, I don't even know, 25-yard pool, the warm-up was 20 laps. And the cool down was 20 laps. I don't know if a normal person can comprehend that. That's not the workout. I'm talking about that's the warm-up and the cool down. For most people, if they did 20, they're done. If they could even do 20, right? So when I went up one time in college, I went up against the captain of a swim team, and we went at it. I was confident I was gonna, because most people that I've met, I've blown away swimming. Not that I was any good at swimming, and I found that out when I competed. I sucked at it, right? Because I'm going up against athletes, like real athletes, and I'm just a guy who swam a long, long time. That's all it was. So anyway, here I was. I went up against the captain of the swim team. I didn't know he was the captain of the swim team, but he used to be captain of the swim team. So here's a guy that is an athlete and has been swimming, as long as I have or close to that. And we went at it. The training is similar, but they have the natural abilities. He smoked me. He smoked me bad. Like I couldn't believe how far the gap was, and I've experienced this numerous times. So this is, I hope you guys can I don't know if you can understand that. Okay, so I've been doing martial arts for a long, long time, but compared to someone that has the natural abilities, plus they're dedicated and they do the training, I'm not going to be able to even come close. Okay, just like the same way in the swimming example, I'm going to be blown away. I won't even, it's another league. So when you say like Olympic athlete, or professional athlete, you have to understand that is an incredible, very, very small percentage of the population. So I just wanted to make that clear and give credit to the athletes. So once again, even the athletes have to resort back to just blocking, where they go, as awesome as the reflex is, they have to just go, crap, I can't see this. I can't keep up with this. I need a block. I need to just shield up. And they do that. They do that. That's why you see it in, once again, boxing, Muay Thai kickboxing, and MMA. So this right here, what you're seeing right here, this is that was an impossibility. The only reason why that's happening is because it's choreographed. It's choreographed. We both know the pattern, and we're both trying to time it together to meet that pattern. Yes, I was going a little harder. Yes, I was going a little faster. So was he, but we're still trying to time it together. We don't want to get hurt, you know. So it is still choreographed, okay? In real life, it's not going to be choreographed. It's going to be more chaos. Therefore, it's impossible. All right, so I just want you guys to understand proper usage of the Heaven Six. So that's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.